Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys have been having a great Thursday so far as we're about to work our way into our Friday. And as always, I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. We got some things to talk about tonight, and really it's what's going to unfold over the next several hours into the overnight hours, into tomorrow morning, then tomorrow afternoon for areas of the western deep south. So, in this video, there's not really, I don't have to pull up a ton of panels for you guys because really it's going to be one a complex area of storms that's really going to develop and sweep through areas of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Northeast Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, maybe even parts of Tennessee and Alabama, and then make it all the way into the Gulf Coast potentially. So that's what we're going to break down with this. Damaging winds. This could wake a lot of people up tomorrow morning across Arkansas, maybe even areas of Mississippi, northern Louisiana. So it could catch a lot of people by surprise. But this is just going to be just a big time, potentially damaging line of storms that could work through. We call this mesoscale convective systems. We got kind of a northwest flow pivoting around a ridge of high pressure to the west and the southwest that will eventually build into the eastern U.S. and probably promote record-breaking temperatures, hot temperatures into this weekend to early next week. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow evening into the weekend. But that's what we're going to talk about tonight. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Please hit me up on Facebook, guys. Got a big time goal during the slower months to somehow increase the likes on my Facebook page. Trying to get to 10,000 likes by the end of 2022. Currently, I'm just shy of around 4,900. So you guys have really responded with that. So just hit that link there. A lot of more people have Facebook more than Twitter. So definitely hit me up on Facebook. Give it a like. If you're on Twitter, definitely give me a follow there. I'm actually even more active on there. But I know not everybody's big into social media. There's a lot of negative things on there as of late. But if you are on social media, hit me up there. It's a great way to stay up to date. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. And more importantly, what I like to see is for you guys to keep me updated. So when we're praying for one another, and then somebody puts in the comments, hey, good news, or maybe that potentially might not be great news, but it's nice to hear the feedback from you guys of what we pray for one another about, and then we get feedback 2 to 3 weeks later saying, hey, the thing you prayed about ended up working out, and we can give God the glory there. But I love hearing those stories, guys, so keep that up. But almost 3 minutes into the intro, have not started talking about weather yet, but here we go. Right now, National Weather Service, for right now through tomorrow morning, has this slight risk still, but really this ain't much to look at. Really, the threat's going to really shift into this area right here, which then means we go into our day 2, which is for tomorrow, for your Friday. This starts Friday morning and lasts all the way to Saturday morning, but really this is going to be ongoing. The severe weather will be ongoing at the beginning of this severe risk period, meaning severe storms are going to be ongoing in this area of eastern Oklahoma, maybe even northeast Texas, Arkansas, and will eventually move southeast. And this will be just a nasty line of storms that could potentially move through this area of the country right here. Tornado threat is not that high, but there is a risk. There's a 2% risk of a tornado, 25 miles in any given location in this area right here. But the wind threat is really big, guys. You have a 30% chance in this red area. This includes Little Rock, almost includes Shreveport, but it includes Jackson, Mississippi, a pretty large area of Arkansas, northeast Louisiana, and then a good chunk of central Mississippi. This is a 30% chance to see damaging thunderstorm winds or wind gusts of 50 knots or higher within 25 miles at any given point. Right now, we don't have a hatched risk, meaning 65 knots or greater, a 10% risk of that. If we saw that, that would be the black outlined area with the black dashes going through it. But I would not be surprised if this gets hatched overnight or upgrade. So we'll have to watch this. But this is the area to watch. Hail threat, only a 15% risk of hail of 1 inch of diameter hail and 25 miles at any given point in this location. So this won't be the biggest threat. We look at water vapor loop, and stick with me, guys. We're going to go over each individual state that could get impacted by this and break it down by state. Right here, you can actually see the origins of this developing right now here in the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma and far southwest Kansas. See this big plume right here that shows up? This is water vapor. This is the water vapor loop. So in general, it's showing where a lot of moisture is, a lot of storms are in general. And it does a really great job of showing this trough, this cold front that's stalled out across the southeast And with that, along it and south of the boundary, storms are popping up here in areas of the western Carolinas, southern areas of Georgia, and the panhandle of Florida. But this is the area we watch. It will eventually move across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then really potentially could enhance itself across areas of Mississippi with the daytime heating of the day. So let's look at a more broader look at what can unfold into the overnight hours into tomorrow, all the way through tomorrow afternoon. So look at this. This is as of around midnight to 1 a.m. Oklahoma time, Texas time out here, so Central Time. The HRRR model likes the idea of some kind of complex of storms, an area of storms here in southwest Oklahoma, areas of northern Texas. We keep this rolling here. We're getting into the wee hours of the morning. So if you're in Oklahoma City, Tulsa potentially, Oklahoma City really points south is what I'm thinking. You could get woken up by some nasty storms, severe storms that could produce some damaging winds, even some small hail, maybe an isolated tornado threat. But this moves through Oklahoma City. I'm talking about before the sun comes up. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. This, it's not going to lose any steam because it's not daytime. This isn't going to matter. There's a lot of juice to the atmosphere, a lot of instability, even overnight into the morning hours, and obviously as we're getting into tomorrow afternoon. So this is a maturing line of storms that's growing, and it could potentially weaken as just at sunset. But stay with me here. As we're getting into around 6 a.m. or so, this starts to knock on the door of the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line here, starts to move into western Arkansas. Watch out Little Rock, you guys, around 7, 8, maybe 9 a.m. Nasty line of storms moves through potentially. Hopefully it's not going to have as much steam to it as it moves through overnight, but watch out even far northeast areas of Texas. This area of storms could be pretty intense. And then it moves and gets on to the mid to later afternoon hours. Memphis, the worst might not get to you guys, but we'll stop it here. And hold tight for you folks watching in Mississippi, Louisiana. We're going to show more of you here in a second, but this is the latest HRRR model that only goes out to around 11 a.m., which 10 a.m. Central Time here in Arkansas, Louisiana. So let's start this off by looking a little closer in Oklahoma. So like I said, we'll keep this rolling. We're getting into the overnight hours. Oklahoma City being right here. The worst of this is probably going to be, well, it really could affect the entire area of eastern Oklahoma. It really could. This looks like a pretty intense line of storms. If you're in Dallas-Fort Worth, it looks like right now, this could pivot. This could move a little further south. But the latest HRRR model, which isn't necessarily the only model to look at, has the worst just to your north. So the worst moving between Dallas-Fort Worth and Oklahoma City around 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. This starts knocking on the door of Arkansas, moves into Arkansas. We'll go on and switch to Arkansas. And here it comes. Let's make sure this is in 1 hour intervals for you folks. And this starts to move into Arkansas around 4, 5 a.m. And Little Rock being right here. Now watch this. This looks like maybe just for Little Rock, maybe just a big area of heavy rain. But this also could be in the form of a nasty line of storms. But this area of energy will continue to move through in the morning hours. Are starting to get into about mid to late morning. And then we can go on and switch this to probably the deep south. And yes, yep, deep south right here. So let me make sure we're at 1 hour here. Bear with me. We'll back it up right here. So as we're moving through, this is the latest long-range HRRR model. So this is, the latest information that goes out through 48 hours. But check it out. This line of storms starting to move into Mississippi. So, watch out south of Memphis, really between Memphis and Jackson, even points south. Watch out Shreveport. I know it doesn't show a lot for you folks right over here in Shreveport, but this could be intense for you guys around late morning to midday. But as we're getting into the afternoon hours, watch out Jackson, Mississippi. You're under an enhanced risk tomorrow. This is why if you back it up and look at this, back it up and look at this. This area right here is the area under an enhanced risk because the line of storms is starting to move in this area about morning, but this atmosphere right into here, which we'll switch it off here, this area of energy will start to move into a very unstable atmosphere. The moisture dew points are in the 60s and 70s for sure, so it's very humid. The temperatures are rising because you're getting into about midday to early afternoon. So what we call the thermodynamics is very is very much maturing into this region. So the atmosphere is destabilizing. It's very unstable. So this energy will move over this unstable atmosphere and will continue to potentially intensify. Now, I will note the NAM likes this being weaker by the time it gets here, but the placement is about the same. But if you're in areas of central to southern areas of Mississippi, this is moving throughout the afternoon hours. Even watch out into Baton Rouge, maybe even New Orleans as you're getting into around dinner time. So you folks down there in the bayou could certainly be in for some active weather if you're planning any kind of Friday night activities. So watch out. This is starting to move into the coastal Gulf regions of the Gulf of Mexico here in the Gulf Coast right here. So you see this line of storms. This is moving through, damaging winds, heavy rain. You know, somebody could definitely see a quick tornado, some large hails potentially there for a risk here, but not the biggest risk. But in general, tomorrow, watch out for this nasty line of storms that's going to move through Arkansas, Mississippi, areas of northeast Louisiana. It's definitely going to be the biggest topic. And with this, like I said, damaging winds in excess of 50, 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour as possible with this line of storms. And this isn't going to be really pop up in nature. You're going to see this coming, guys. Even if you're not looking at a radar, you're going to see this line of storms coming. It might look like a big old shelf cloud, something like that you would see, out of some kind of sci-fi movie. Might look like a mothership moving in. But it's going to be an intense line of storms. So prepare for that for your Friday afternoon. Prepare ahead, and just definitely, like I said, have a reliable radar downloaded on your phone. Yes, some of them do cost. The radar scope costs a whopping $10 a year. You can plug in your exact location. There's an icon button you can push that actually tells you exactly where you are, and it's about 99% accurate. It's pinpoint accurate pretty much, guys. So that's all I got. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. I'll have you an update on this exact weather system tomorrow, but it will be unfolding tomorrow, so it'll be in real time. But God bless all y'all. Stay safe overnight, and I'll talk to y'all soon.